Hello, hello, hello. How are you all? I just started reading the chat. Welcome, welcome, everyone. And for the person that said, please, with the dings, it drives her crazy. Let me tell you what happened. I had an issue with my earbuds on Wednesday. So you won't hear any dings today. I'm sorry about Wednesday. I wouldn't have been able to go on if I didn't, if I put them in and they didn't work, it would have been a disaster. But anyway, welcome, welcome, welcome. We got quite a show today. I just dug into some stuff, I'm just digging these holes. And the things I'm off the cuff is off the chain. I love that. Thanks, Sean. Thanks, Sean. And you got here, huh? Anyway, I love all you guys. And let me just dive right in because then people say, well, it took you 10 minutes. Everybody's got something to say. I can't please everybody. I'm a human being. Okay, so let's start with the top I got on. You like this one? You like this one? I put this on and I said, Jenna, I love this. So this is so light and it's perfect for spring and summer. If for those of you who are wondering, why am I hawking clothes? I'm not really hawking clothes, just so you know. What I'm doing is we got a word many years ago about doing gatherings around the country. We've done 11. We're on number 12. Moving, that's a whole nother story. But we'll hit that tonight on Fab 4 and on Solomon's Porch on Sunday. But for now, this is called Joyful Mornings French Terry Hoodie. When I tell you comfy and long, like in stretchy, like covers all your spaghetti dinners and covers over leggings. It's perfect for spring and summer. Perfect. I can't even tell you how beautiful this is. I mean, I'm keeping this on. I mean, I'm going to have to change for tonight, unfortunately, but I'm keeping this on today. It is comfy. Anyway, beautiful top. It's a rose and like a blue, gray, and a lilac, just gorgeous. Anyway, you can find that at joyandcountry.com. If you click on Delora's Closet, moi, that is a moi, you will find it. And then Jenna sent me over this necklace. It's called Faith Can Move Mountains. I know you can't see it, but what it is it's a little mountain. Oh, there you can see a little bit. It's a little mountain and it's got a real mustard seed in it. So the faith of a mustard seed can move a mountain. So it's awesome. Available in silver and gold. She said, they're also linked. The links are in the description here. And Delora's Closet is also linked in the YouTube description. So you guys got all the information. I'll give it to you again at the end to make sure that you, but this is so, I'm not going to put the hood on because then I'm going to deal with hair issues. And it's humid today. And you guys are lucky I don't look like a chia pet. So there's that. So I'm not going to do the hood. Anyway, she also said we have our big annual spring sale going on the website, up to 20% off, only for the weekend. It ends Monday. Okay, so that's a big spring sale. Again, joyandcountry.com. It is our fundraiser to help us do gatherings. And now we are also, people are saying, can I give to Impact Center? Yeah. So what we're doing is we're starting to, even though if you give to us and stuff, it's still made out to the gathering and everything, but we're going to take some of those funds and we're going to start building toward, hopefully, I mean, it takes a lot of money, but we want to help the homeless in the area and the vets and, maybe have a place where we can have meetings and Bible studies and just all kinds of things, a resource center. So that's what we're doing now. And we're still doing the gatherings, but the Impact Center as well. Okay, so that's where that's happening. All right. Sunday night, the gathering at Solomon's Porch. That's our Sunday night online church service at 6 p.m. on Rumble. Tonight, Fab 4, Born to be Free. Oh boy, what a show. And that'll be tonight. on Rumble as well at 6 p.m. Eastern. Next week, big week. The topics I got, mind-blowing. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, OTC, off the cuff, at noon. Our links are in the description again. Anyway, that's that. Let's get this party started, as so many of my Boston friends would say. All right. So let me just do a really quick disclaimer. I don't profess to have all the answers. I don't profess to be always right. What I do profess is that I do my homework and I verify as much as I can verify. And I will move down a road that most believers won't. I don't know why. I don't know. God gave me a whole different thing, I think. I don't know. I don't get it. We're very against, religion and having to, it's about God. And that's where we live. So any truth that comes forward that we feel people need to know, that is based on verification. Now, let me say this. A lot of what I'm going to say is based on theory, but gravity is a theory. Germs are a theory. The theory of evolution. You see where I'm going? These are all theories. So I'm basing this on facts that I have found that led me down a road. Okay. And that's where I lay it out for you like a map. Why do I do that? I do that so you will send these out to people that maybe don't really think as much as you do, or maybe need to be a little more awake, understand there's other things going on than what we see. I think it's very important. You can use these as a tool. That's why I came back on this platform and am doing OTC, because of that reason. Someone wrote to me just today and said she sent part 1 out to 7 friends and they all received it. They loved it. And that's exactly why I'm doing this. Okay. I'm going to open with, when I do these shows, I do this for the new people. Okay. You've seen this. It's not even 2 minutes long, but it's very, 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 very important, because much of my going down this avenue and this rabbit hole was based on a very legitimate man who you're going to find out some stuff about him today that is going to blow your mind. But I'm going to go down a little bit Admiral Byrd rabbit hole too, and then you're going to understand exactly what we're not being told. But anyway, this is the little clip, and I saw many of these which are offline now, can't find them anywhere, that got me going down this road. Here you go.
I must say that Admiral Byrd, our guest tonight, is not only our greatest living explorer, but he's been an inspiration to countless Americans. Admiral Byrd, you've been to both the North Pole and the South Pole. Is there any unexplored land left on this earth that might appeal to adventurous young Americans?
Yes, there is. And not up around the North Pole, because it's getting crowded up there now, because they find out it's really usable, not only to live in, but militarily. But strangely enough, there's left in the world today an area as big as the United States that's never been seen by a human being. And that's beyond the pole on the other side of the South Pole from Middle America. And I think it's quite astonishing that there should be an area as big as that unexplored.
This is a tremendous
So
challenge.
there's a lot of adventure left down at the bottom of the world.
Okay, so here you go. You got Admiral Richard Byrd, one of the most decorated admirals in the history of this country, saying that there is absolutely land that's not explored. Now, when he says the South Pole down at the bottom of the world, he's talking about Antarctica, okay? Middle America, he's talking about Antarctica, okay? Those were words they used then. If you remember, I don't know if you remember this, but when I was in grammar school, they called the North Pole the Arctic Circle, and they called the South Pole the Antarctic Circle. And I know a lot of you are going to remember that. And you're like, whoa, you're right. Why did they call it that? Okay, so let's go. Admiral Byrd, that was in 1956, 57. Not many months after that, he was found. He was 67, 68 years old, very healthy man. He actually was planning, had everyone ready to go in the next month to go back to Antarctica and continue, go beyond where he went the last time, and see what else he could discover. Lo and behold, not long after that show, he was found dead in his hotel room. Apparently died in his sleep. They don't know what happened. Okay, yeah, all right. Then his son took over, Richard Byrd Jr. Within a few years, he was found murdered in a warehouse where he did all his work that continued his father's work. So he has a diary. It's hard to find online now. Very difficult. They're starting to cover a lot of this stuff up. But there are, and I proved this in part 1, there are many lands within our known lands that is our planet, whether it's round, oval, flat, a square, whatever. Many lands that are hidden from us in our known lands. That is part 1. Now we're going to go to part 2. And I'm going to explain to you what could be beyond on Antarctica and beyond Antarctica. Okay? Now, a lot of people are using the word summoned, and I'm liking it. Okay? So that's becoming a buzz thing now, and that's accurate. When I said, everybody says, why did our leaders, political leaders, go to Antarctica? I said, I don't believe they went. I believe they were summoned to go. It's the only explanation for why on the date that Mr. T got in, that our Secretary of State went there like that. There's the only see, these things, you got to think about them. Why? Because he was summoned. He had no choice, out of nowhere. It wasn't even planned. No one said he was going, and all of a sudden he's leaving. So there are areas of that continent, we can call it that for the sake of verbiage. It's one area called the Forbidden Sector. That's the southwest coast. Okay. There, if you look, like go to brave.com or whatever you use, and you look, you'll see, if you say Antarctica southwest sector or southwest coast, that is the Forbidden Sector. People go there, they never come back. You try to sneak there, you're done. You try to fly over it, you're going to get shot down. Number 2, there's a hole apparently in the center of Antarctica that even Russia says exists. And they're saying that if you go down that hole, see, everybody's blowing this up now. You go down that hole, you'll go through so much ice, maybe a mile of ice, and then there's lands under there. This is right out from Russia. There's lands a mile down, then it's like you come to another whole land, and that's down there. Then there's the visitors' land. Now, the visitors' land is the safe area, and what they do, that's more toward the part that's near Argentina. If Argentina is here and then Antarctica starts here, this part is known as the safe area. That's where ships, if you take a cruise to Antarctica, which anybody can do, it's very expensive. It's a couple weeks, and it is expensive, a little treacherous. If you don't mind going through that straight there. I'm not really up for that. I go on a long ride and I get sick. So not sure that's me, although I want to go here. It's probably, the top of my bucket list. But if you go there, you will, that's the visitors area. And what is very interesting is that magnetic fields are manipulated. You can't get a read. If you go on Google Earth, you can't even get down there. You only get the top the visitors area. You can't even get down there and measure. It goes fluey. It just doesn't work. You can't do it. So what they've done is all compasses in Antarctica lead to this safe area. So it prevents people from finding out what they don't want people to know. Then in the northeast, it's been said by Admiral Byrd in his diary that there is a tropical area. Now, this isn't beyond, lands beyond. This is within the continent, okay? But as you heard, there is a land that he saw, and his one of his officers named Rear Admiral Richard Cruzan wrote a whole book about this too. Lands that they saw that existed that no one has ever been on, human. Okay, so it's interesting that military forces all over the continent, I said this, including the USA, guard that area. You can't, you can only fly over the top of it. You can't go down. You can't, nothing. You can't. And it's interesting that peace is kept there, complete peace. We've got wars all over our world. For some reason, 50 nations who are in war above Antarctica keep the peace in Antarctica. Why is that? Is there something there that's more powerful than humans that will destroy them if they wreck with their world beyond Antarctica? Something to think about. Definitely a possibility. So let me go down a little before I get to Byrd. I want to talk about Operation Highjump. It was officially titled the United States Navy Antarctic Developments Program. It was 1946-1907. It was a U.S. Navy operation. It was Rear Admiral Richard Byrd and Rear Admiral Richard A. Cruzan. I spoke about him in part one as well. It commenced August 26, 1946, until February 1947. It included 4,700 men, 13 ships, 33 aircraft. And although they're saying the mission was to establish an Antarctic base in Little America, which is Antarctica, why did they call it Operation Highjump? Why did they traverse the ice wall? Why did they try to, why did they do that? You see, it's like Operation Fishbowl. Why did they call it Fishbowl? They call it what it is. So what happened, and I'm going to read this to you, it's very interesting. Aircraft, I'm missing something. Hold on. I don't see it, Renee. I don't see it. I'm looking for something that everybody's saying wow to. I don't see it. My grandpa. Oh, wow. Okay. My grandpa was asked to fly Admiral Byrd to Antarctica, but he wasn't able to because my grandma was so pregnant. Oh, I wish I'd been able to tell me those stories. Wow. Okay. Wow. All right. That's pretty interesting. Let me read you this, please, and you'll get a little idea. So here's what it says. Aircraft reconnaissance began near Antarctica at the end of January 1947, mostly in the northern area around Queen Maud Land, and covered more than 22,000 air kilometers, as well as capturing more than 70,000 photographs. Listen up. This is Operation Highjump. Suddenly, something very puzzling happened. The research voyage, scheduled for 5 months, was abruptly and without public acknowledgement canceled after just 2 months in what seemed like a panic. Equally puzzling is how the operation's early end was all but covered in a veil of silence in the world press, while its beginning has caused such a media stir. What happened? At that point, when Byrd came back, he said it is now a military operation. So who would know? Okay. Next week, I'm going to do a show on NASA, all about it. Okay. I can't say that name too much. I want to stay on here. So I'm going to do it, and you're going to really understand what we're dealing with them. But so who makes it up? Who are the ones that supposedly went in up there and landed on the round luminary that comes out at night, the moon? Who did that? Which of the astronauts did that? Now, I'm going to say this word once, and then I'm going to say FM after, okay? 90% of them, all the people that travel, that do all this stuff, are Freemasons, okay? From now on, I will say FM. John Glenn, two-time U.S. Senator, one of NASA's first astronauts, Free M. Buzz Aldrin, second man to walk on the moon, 33rd degree, FM. Montclair Lodge, number 144, New Jersey. Edgar Mitchell, they called him the Moonwalker. And Apollo 14 is an FM from Artesta Lodge, number 29 in New Mexico. James Irwin from Apollo 15, Lodge number 104, FM, Colorado Springs. Don Isley, Apollo 7. Luther B. Turner Lodge, number 732 in Ohio, FM. Gordon Cooper was on Mercury 9, Gemini 5. He's a master FM. Carbondale Lodge, number 82 in Colorado. Virgil Grissom, Apollo 1 and 15. Mercury 5, Gemini 3. Master FM, Mitchell Lodge, number 228, Indiana. Walter Sherrod Jr., Apollo 7, Sigma 7, Gemini 6, Mercury 8. 33, FM, Canaveral Lodge, number 339. Now, the last one, okay, was the one that was asked several years ago why NSA, you can get it online, hasn't gone back to the moon. And he responded that NASA destroyed all the paperwork and had to start all over again. Astronauts Neil Armstrong, Alan Shepard, William Pogue, Vance Brand, Anthony England had fathers who were FMs. Okay, bottom line, you get to walk on the moon, you have to become an FM. So what does Antarctica and the lands beyond have to do with that? Well, Admiral Byrd was an FM. Should we believe him? Let me explain. He had to say some of the things he said because of karmic retribution. I'm not going to go into that now, but that is very, very important. This is why we see in plain sight things we're seeing today. Byrd was an FM, master FM, Lodge number 1 in Washington, D.C. He became a member in the NYC Lodge in September 1928. And that's very important because he went through the ceremony and everything only several days before his first trip to Antarctica. Connecting the dots now? Okay. That first expedition was a 100% FM funded expedition. Had nothing to do with the Navy, had nothing to do with the military. Isn't that interesting? You think maybe they're up here somewhere? They are. And most of you know it. It was all FMs who funded it. A lot of info can be found in Byrd's book called Little America. I don't know where you can find that. But his second expedition in 1934 was funded by all FMs as well. Nothing to do with the military, nothing to do with the Navy, nothing to do with anyone. And anyone that came on his ship that passed before the 66 degree south line toward Antarctica had to join Byrd's FM Lodge call. He had his own, called the Order of the Penguin. Look it up. Order of the Penguin, you'll see in 1947 Operation Highjump. You'll see in the bottom, there's an FMUS seal in the bottom left corner. You can get all this stuff online. Operation Highjump itself, after this happened, these two became, then the military got involved and it was no longer an FM expedition. The Order of Penguin certificate is very interesting. I believe I have a picture of it. Hold on. I've got to check my files here. Yeah, here it is. Okay, so this was the lodge, okay? Forgive the exposure of some things, but I had to show this. I find it interesting that this is the lodge from Byrd. And as you can see, the area the Penguin is standing on is very flat. There's a couple of icebergs. And instead of the Order of the Penguin being straight across, that I find rather bizarre, instead of it being right across the top, which you would normally do, it's shaped like a dome. And then there's stuff above it. Is that water above the firmament? And interesting, mermaids there. There's the seal of the Masons. Very, very interesting stuff. Okay. So you've got that. So why is it so important that Byrd was an FM? Because now we can assume that even though the little bit he really divulged and he got nailed for it, I believe they took him out for it. Can you imagine what he knows and he kept from us? I think that NBC show in the 50s gave away too much information. His son, who was not an FM, broke out of that, and soon he was found killed. So there's stuff that isn't in Byrd had his own Order of the Penguins FM lodge that everybody that was on that ship had to join. Obviously, it was to keep the secrecy. Okay, now this is what I want you to know. If you go to, there are probably 3 or 4 online, you can find them, ship trackers, okay, where you can actually track ships all around the world. When the whole EVER green thing was happening, I was tracking those ships and I knew exactly where all of them were. So you can do this. You don't need any special software. You just put in ship tracker and you'll get several sites. Okay. So this is pretty easy to find. But this is what is interesting. They show you the cargo ships everywhere, but I thought this was pretty astonishing. This ship, you see it at the bottom, right, where the bottom of the red arrow and the top of the red arrow, that is the top of Antarctica, okay? The ship was tracked 730 miles inland. And then it said it was 1.9 miles above sea level. Now, that is really not possible, according to our maps, what Antarctica is and how high it was. Okay, so there's another one. I couldn't fit it on here because they only give me 10 slots. But I tracked another one inland 900 miles, another ship went inland in Antarctica 900 miles. I can't get them below that because then it's in that area. But how do they manage, a ship manage to go into land like that? Then I looked into the ships, and this is what I found out. The ships were registered to an island called Kiribati. Okay. Look up Kiribati. It's not, and that's not how you say it. They say it, they get angry when we call it Kiribati, but it's Kiribati. Okay. It's in the middle of nowhere. They call it a trade route. That's why these ships are registered to the island of Kiribati. A trade route. It's in the middle of nowhere. But on this island, they have, and you can look it up, a Captain Cook Hotel. This little island. Captain Cook is the guy that tried to circle Antarctica and discovered the Antarctica ice wall. Captain Cook. They got a Captain Cook Hotel. Can you imagine? On this tiny island in the middle of nowhere. Let me show you Kiribati. Let me show you Kiribati. There's Kiribati. Okay? There she is. Now, why? That's a regular map. That's a regular map that they show you. They call it Kiribati Atoll, but it's Kiribati. You see it right there. So it's off of the lower part of the United States and the South America, and then it's near Australia, and it's right in the middle of nowhere. How can this be a trade route? Okay, so let me show you Kiribati on a flat Earth map. Oh, make a little more sense. Kiribati is kind of a last stop before Antarctica. Now, here's what's interesting. No, it's not frozen either. You're absolutely correct. This is where, if you hit Kiribati and you keep going, this is what you get to. The gate. This summer gate, okay? Kiribati's right up there where it says Pacific Ocean. That's one of the places that Byrd and William Morris and all these men that traveled, that's the place. There's two of them, apparently. That's one of the openings to get through the ice wall. Okay, so let me take that down. Now, again, the following are theories, but they're pretty accurate from what I've discovered. Okay. William Morris. He was an explorer that worked with Captain Butler in the late 1800s and early 1900s. He really was a contemporary of Byrd. He found a passageway through the Antarctic ice. One of those, that one, there's one that's a little bit apparently northwest of that one as well. The book is on Amazon if you want to read further. It's written by Claudio Nicelli, given the information by William Morris's daughter, who was apparently born in the unknown lands. Okay. He calls the lands that we know of are 7 continents, et cetera, et cetera. Although they said they just discovered another continent out of nowhere, came out of the ground. Go look it up, the 8th continent. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole, but they did. I think they're trying to cover stuff up. But the 7 continents, he says, are the known lands, and the ones beyond the 7 continents are the unknown lands, okay? So it's the book is called The Navigator Who Went Beyond the Ice Walls. Fascinating read. A very small book. Again, it was translated because he was Argentinian. Spanish was his first language, and so was Nicelli. So there's a lot of run-on sentences and a lot of no punctuation, and drove me crazy because I'm a grammar nut. But that's what you can get a lot of this information. Another explorer named E.W. Barrington also went through the ice wall and came upon lands as well. He found many civilizations with very high tech and medical advances. That book is called The Iron Republic, edited by C.J. Austin. Apparently, Barrington met up with William Morris, who was made the first land that I believe Byrd and his contemporary on his ship were talking about when they went through and they saw that land and they landed, is called the Ancestral Republic. That is the land that is, they welcome people, but you'll see, if you read the book, you'll understand. I could do a whole show on that book probably. But what they did is he took his daughter, what his daughter and William Morris gave as a sketch of what the unknown lands look like. And I'm going to show you what that is. So there it is. I've said this several times, and I'm going to say it again. Many, many years ago, I was, as you can see, in the little center, that's us. That's our world. You see Australia and Africa and all. That's our world. And the rest, and then the ice wall is another world, all kinds of, and another wall. And then the world's on the outside, which I believe that's where they call outer space. That's the outer space. They call it ETs in space, extraterrestrials, where the word extraterrestrial, if you break it down, it means in addition to people that live on the land. Has nothing to do with outer space. So you've got all these lands, and William Morris wrote in that book that there were many different kinds of people. There were the giants, there were the guardians. The guardians were the ones that I believe are summoning people. Just my hunch. I can't prove it, but they're very big apparently, and if they've got that kind of power over people that are not believers, then they probably are nephilim. Just a hunch, can't prove it, but we're living on apparently a spinning ball because of a theory, and you throw an apple and it comes down, and that's a theory. So this is a theory, okay? Just like the other theories. So now remember Kiribati Island, okay? Let me put this back up. If you remember Kiribati Island, I told you, look at the center of where we are, and Kiribati Island is down near where it says the ice wall at the bottom. It's the little opening to the left. Kiribati is in the middle of the ocean right there. It is the exactly perfect, ideal spot to stop before going through. Okay, I got a couple of scriptures I want to say I think are very interesting, and then a couple of movie clips that are wild. Genesis, okay? And again, I'm not making, I'm not saying what I believe. I'm a little, I don't know. I'm kind of up in the air. I wish I could sit with someone and ask questions. Couple things I don't get, but this is a very interesting thing. Genesis 13:14-17. The Lord said to Abram after Lot had separated from him, "Lift up your eyes and look from this place where you are, northward, southward, eastward, and westward, for all the land I will give to you and your offspring forever." Says a lot to me. Job 38:30. The waters are hid as with a stone, and the face of the deep. Let me tell you what that really means. The water in Hebrew, I looked it up in Hebrew. The waters become hard like a stone and stays frozen. The only place on earth where huge waters are hid as a stone, get hard as a stone, and they don't melt, they stay frozen, are in Antarctica, because sunlight is not strong enough to heat and thaw the ice. Job 26:7, God stretches the northern sky over empty space and hangs the earth on nothing. Now, some people say, well, that proves the earth is a sphere. No, it proves he hung the earth on nothing. I don't care if it's shaped like this. He hung it on nothing. That's all that proves. But Job 38, that it may take the earth by the edges and shake the wicked out of it. The earth takes shape like clay under a seal. So I think it's very, very interesting, all of these things. So as I spoke about in part 1, those that are nefarious and hiding us from the truth, and hiding so many other things, are also hiding what we're living on, worlds we don't know of, technology we don't know of, medical conditions we don't know of. And understand, I have to stay in the peace of God and believe God's got this, because I have loved ones that went on to the next life way too early. And if there are medical, see, I don't believe a lot of these people that said they passed really did. Maybe they did it for show, so people wouldn't catch on that they can live to be 110, 20, 30 years old. I don't know. But I must show you, this is hidden in plain sight in a children's film called Giant Country. Very short clip of this movie.
In the kids' movies and shows and send out subliminal messages.
And where exactly is Giant Country, sir?
Exactly. Where is he? Hey. There.
What?
There.
Duh. Yeah. There. Where? He says. Yeah. Very interesting to me. When you think about Stephen King's favorite quote is that in the book The Gunslinger, it's a famous quote. One of the characters' name was Jake Chambers, and his quote in Stephen King put it in back of books. He put it in his movies, and he says, Jake says, "Go then. There are other worlds than these." He also wrote the book in 2009, Under the Dome, that was made into a TV series. Very interesting. All hidden in plain sight. So I'm going to end with this. It's 1:45, and I'm going to end with this. This is Tucker Carlson, basically, saying what he believes. See, all of this is spiritual. Tucker has learned more than I know, than probably most know. People have come to him and he can't say anything for fear of disclosing. And he said it many, many times, whether you love Tucker or you hate Tucker, whatever. This is probably one of the greatest truths videos that has ever been shown. Here we go.
Personal belief based on a fair amount of evidence that they're not aliens. They've always been here. And I do think it's spiritual. That's my view. So, and again, it's not provable, but based on the evidence, I think.
I'm with you. Absolutely.
But if the U.S. government has in fact had direct contact with these beings, whatever they are, I've already told you what I think they are, and has entered into some sort of agreement with them, which is the claim of informed people, I would say. Whether they're right or wrong, I can't say conclusively. But if that is true, I mean, it's a very, very, very heavy thing.
Yeah. A lot of people say interdimensional beings.
Right, I want to ask, are angels and demons, or how would you describe these beings?
You know, these are, again, I'm getting into the realm of conjecture, so I just want to say that flat out.
Entity.
But one thing I know for a dead certain fact, having seen it, is that there is good and evil, that we are being acted upon at all times. And so there are forces that are not human, that do exist in a spiritual realm of some kind, that we cannot see, and that when you think about it, sort of make you think we live in an ant farm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that clip. I don't, people don't make a big deal out of it. I make a huge deal out of that clip. That's a man that's very aware and very awake. He doesn't have to do this. And I believe God is using him in a way that he's not using many other people. And Tucker might just be the new Snowden that Prophet Kim Clemens spoke about. Okay, that's my part 2. I might have to do a part 3. I didn't even touch most of it. If you guys have questions, I'll take some questions, but it's almost 10 minutes of one, and I'm going to go from there. So let's see. He is an Episcopalian. Okay. Yeah. Please put 3 question marks in front of it so I know. I love the way Dreamer, I love the way Tucker digs for truth as well. He's very pragmatic. I tend to be like he is. I'm not a sensationalist. You're not going to see, me trying to blow things up like, you see this? You never saw it before. I can't do it. Okay, hold on. Sean, these are exclamation points, Sean, but I'll take it. Delora, do you think there's a possibility the reason we see people with massive clones because the real person are reaping the benefits themselves? Sean, I wouldn't doubt it. It's an excellent question. I wouldn't doubt it. Hold on. What is the title of the Carlson interview? I don't know. What you can do is put AJF, put in Tucker Carlson interview about spiritual beings. You'll get a bunch of stuff. I mean, you could do that in what you call it as well, in TikTok. Tucker is not a Christian. I don't care. I don't care what he is. He's telling truth. I don't understand. Okay. When you deal with karmic retribution, even the demons need to let us know what is going on, or it will be held to their charge. That's what they live with. They believe that. So I don't care if he's on I don't care what he is. I really don't. Someone said he's Episcopalian. Praise the Lord. All I know is the man, he just releases a lot. Okay. Can we one day soon talk about where is the real true Israel from my, okay, this is another, sure, we can, but I don't want to go down that road, Lisa. But thank you for the question. Yes. It's so deep. That's very deep. That would take me 5 shows. So I tend to not want to go down it. Any plans on doing a series on the secret society? Yeah, I've thought about it. There, you know what it is, Jojo, there is so much that I have in here that I want to reveal that all I can do is pray. And I did it with my husband this morning about next week. And I'm not sure, but Monday may be a whole thing on NASA. So I give that foundation. See, so we can build on things. That's why I'm doing OTC. So we can build on things. Will you do a part 3? Darren, I probably will have to. I want to go into what is being said about those lands. I think that's very important. Joy, do you think the DEW is really coming from these unknown lands? No, I don't think they're coming from there. I think they could be coming from Antarctica, not there. What I believe, again, this is conjecture based on my past knowing things, based on what I'm hearing, based on fact, based on what I've read, based on knowing the nefarious nature of those involved, that those weapons are being used because if those nefarious ones in the unknown lands want them to use them, that's why they're doing it. I believe there is a portion of our government and governments around the world that are beholden, for some reason, I don't know what other word to use, beholden to entities that are there. That's why out of nowhere they go. They're summoned there. Hope that helps. Okay. We'll do part 3. Yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Leanna, do you think we will be able to travel these other lands one day? I pray yes. I'll be on the first one there. I will. This is like, this resonates so deeply with me that I have a hard time letting it go. And I started walking down the road, and I want to say it, and Leanna, thank you for reminding me of this without even realizing it. Many years ago, I heard a podcast that I don't even listen to anymore. Someone asked him, is there life on Mars? And he said, oh, they've been living there for hundreds of years. He's right. Probably right. There is an unknown land beyond the ice wall called Mars. In fact, there's all planets there. Very interesting. Yes, Lucas, it absolutely is like the Truman Show. If you haven't seen the Truman Show, you should watch it, everybody. With Jim Carrey. Very, very interesting. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I just said that, Amber, that I've been, since Kim, I was in the meeting that Kim said a new Snowden will arise. I just said, I believe it's Tucker. That's what I believe. Sheila, do you believe Adam is actually Adam, which makes of everything? No, I don't believe that. This stuff is off topic. Is it possible the Garden of Eden is Antarctica? We're living outside of it when Adam and Eve got banned? Yeah, you never know, Gatter. You never know. It could be there. It never was said it was destroyed. The Bible didn't say that. I don't know. Okay. Why would they go to all the trouble of when they could just go to these other lands and leave us alone? Because they want power in our world. This is their world they were born into, probably for most of them. They want power and to control us like little ants. See where he said at the end? It's kind of like living in an ant farm, Tucker said. Don't let that go. I left that in that video because I wanted you to hear that. We're ants to them. You look down at an ant, you see the little hole? That's what we're like. So they want to stay right here and take over us. Here late, were you able to use what I sent you? I didn't even get into it yet, Tara. Got to get into so much stuff, but thank you. Yes, I will. I'm getting to it. Okay, just going to take a few more. Let's see, Lorraine, would you consider doing a show on astrology, astronomy in the future? Gospels written in the stars. Yeah, but don't want to go down that road either. But yeah, that's another one. Wow, I could go on. Considering when I was an atheist and I was living in California, I was working as an actress who wasn't making a ton of money. A good friend of mine, I still remember her name, was an astrologist, and I was a numerologist, and we would do each other, each other's charts and stuff. And so, yeah, it's been perverted. The heavens do speak, like every creation of God speaks, but what it's saying is not what we know it to be in this realm. Wondering why would Allah have mixed rulers and would still the ruler? I believe God would take these hands. I don't know, Marisol. I know the scripture I use a lot, and it's very true, is God's thoughts are higher than our thoughts. His ways are above our ways. Every word that's been put in the Bible is there for us to realize. His thoughts really are above our thoughts. His ways are above our ways. We are people that are living in a realm that is in time. He's out of time. We live on a place that was created by him. He created it. We use 16-17% of our brain. I'd like to find out why that is. I guess the fall. I don't know so much, but I believe that I'm listening, and this stuff is resonating with me, and I believe God is leading me to lead you. I do. I really believe that. I believe this is just part of our life that we're opening to now. Let's see. What are we supposed to expect if they're Nephilim? Well, what do we expect? I guess we expect, wow, there's a question. We're going to get a lot of technology. We're going to get a lot of understanding of things through their history, through their technology, the lands that are there. I don't know if the people that are there were created out of what I do know, if William Morris is accurate, is that they envy us because we can have the spirit of the creator of the known lands within us. And they're more like created by, it's like if I created a clone, okay? It may look like a person, but it doesn't have a soul. That's who they are. Most of those people that are on the other side. And they are spiritual. So what do we expect from them? I would think a lot of technology, a lot of understanding. I don't know. You said Mars could be there because I don't believe Byrd speaks of many stars. Yes, planets. Don't think it's in the Bible. Nope, Rachel. I don't think it is either. I don't think. Yeah, that's another whole thing. It was protected. Yes, I'm going to get through this. Children's movie clip. Yeah, let me get that. It's called Giant Country. The clip was from Giant Country. I'm just going to take a couple more. She was mad after she was at least wanted to be charged with the planet. Everyone thought it was the planet. I didn't hear that. Really, Tara? She was mad after his. Did you send that to me? I'd love to see that. Wow. That's what she was referring. Look at, if she said it, that's what she was referring to. We're what? NASA is now looking at it and saying we got some dirt. You think really they're talking about then? What is she going to live to be? 550 years old? Who knows? I don't know. Wow. Yeah. I want that, Tara. If you have it, please. Okay. I think that's it. Is that it? Yeah. Bless you. If they're hiding, they must be afraid of God's kids. They're terrified. And I'll tell you something. If we would really understand who we are, then they would have to be terrified. We got to really know who we are. We did some of that on Solomon's Porch this past Sunday. Go check it out on Rumble. All right, I think that's it. I'm not going to go down that one. Yes, it does. QFA, absolutely. Yeah. Okay. All right. Last one. Marisol, fascinating. God's timing now to discover this. Everything has a purpose and a time. Amen. Amen, my sister. Amen. I agree with that 100%. All right, guys, that's it. It's 1:01. Good time to sign off. Before I forget, though, next week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, get all my links for tonight and Fab 4 and everything in the description below. This is joyandcountry.com. This hoodie, go get it. It is awesome. That is called Joyful Mornings French Terry Hoodie. It's in Delora's closet. The necklace is called Faith Can Move Mountains. You see the mountain with a real mustard seed. And there's a big spring sale on the website right now, up to 20% off, only for the weekend. It ends Sunday night at midnight or Monday. Help us out with our fundraiser. Help us out with the Gathering Future Impact Centers we're very excited about. And thank you for being here. It is cute, right? It's adorable, Marisol. It is. You should see. It is so soft. It is just, it's just adorable. But you can get it at joyandcountry.com and help us out. Love you, love you, love you all. Thank you all for the great questions. Thank you all for being the most amazing community of people possible. Thank you all in the chat. Jenna is a sweetie. I love her. That's my daughter. So until tonight, double header tonight on Rumble, take your afternoon and go to joyandcountry.com, and I'll see you tonight. God bless you guys. Remember, go in the power of God. Ciao for now.